Hello, and welcome to another journey of wisdom. Today, we will delve deep into the art of finding peace, a peace that stays with you, no matter what the world throws your way. I'm not talking about temporary calm, but a lasting tranquility that only comes from within. In a world so full of noise, distractions, and the constant race for more, it might seem like true peace is impossible. But I'm here to tell you that not only is peace possible, it's something you can cultivate no matter your circumstances. The Stoics understood this well. They lived through wars, personal tragedies, and times of great uncertainty, yet they found a way to remain calm and centered. And so can you. Let me take you on a journey, sharing stories, insights, and lessons from my own experience as a student of Stoic philosophy. By the end of this talk, I hope you'll be equipped with practical tools to help you find peace in your own life. Let me start with a story. Years ago, when I first started to study Stoicism, I came across a famous anecdote about the Roman philosopher Epictetus. He was born a slave, lived a difficult life, and yet he radiated inner peace. Someone once asked him, "How can you be so calm, given all the suffering you've endured?" His response was simple. "I cannot control the external world, but I can control how I respond to it." This, my friends, is the foundation of Stoic peace. The world outside is chaotic. It always has been and always will be. But our power lies not in controlling that chaos, because we can't, but in how we choose to react. Most of us spend too much energy trying to control things that are not in our power, leading to frustration, anxiety, and unhappiness. Think about your own life. How often do you find yourself stressed because things didn't go as planned? Maybe you didn't get that promotion, or someone treated you unfairly. Maybe the weather ruined your weekend plans. In every one of these situations, your peace is disrupted because you're fighting reality. Stoicism teaches us that peace comes when we learn to accept what we cannot control and focus on what we can. You can't control other people's actions, but you can control your response. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you choose to spend your time. This shift in focus, from what's out of our control to what's within our control, is the first step in finding lasting peace. Let's dive deeper into this idea with another story, this time from my own life. Some years ago, I was going through a particularly difficult period. Everything seemed to be falling apart. Work was stressful, personal relationships were strained, and I felt completely overwhelmed. I remember one day, sitting in my car after a long, grueling day, thinking, "Why is this happening to me?" That question, "Why me?" is a natural one. But it's also a dangerous one. It puts us in the role of a victim, and when we feel like victims, we surrender our power. Stoicism, however, teaches us to change the question. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we should ask, "How can I respond to this?" When I began to see my struggles not as personal attacks from the universe but as opportunities for growth, everything changed. The stress didn't magically disappear, but my relationship to it did. I began to ask myself, what can I learn from this situation? How can I use this to become stronger, more resilient? This is the power of perspective. When you shift your mindset from seeing challenges as obstacles to viewing them as opportunities, you regain your power. Instead of feeling helpless, you become the hero of your own story, navigating the storm with calm and clarity. Before we go any further, if you're finding value in this conversation, I invite you to subscribe to Students of Wisdom. By subscribing, you'll join a community of like-minded people who are on the path to greater peace, wisdom, and fulfillment. Together, we can continue exploring these powerful life lessons and make the world a little calmer, one Stoic principle at a time. Now let's talk about one of the most important aspects of finding peace: living in the present moment. Many of us are trapped in either the past or the future. We dwell on regrets, reliving mistakes we've made, or we anxiously anticipate the future, worrying about things that might never happen. But the Stoics remind us that peace can only be found in the present. One of my favorite teachings from Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, is this: confine yourself to the present. He understood that the past is gone, it cannot be changed, and the future is not yet here. The only moment we truly have is this one. I used to struggle with this concept myself. I would spend hours replaying conversations in my head, wishing I had said or done something differently. Or I would worry endlessly about what tomorrow would bring. But every moment spent in regret or worry is a moment stolen from the present. To find peace, we must learn to let go of what was and stop obsessing over what might be. We must train ourselves to fully inhabit the present, to appreciate the moment we're in, no matter how small or insignificant it may seem. Here's a simple practice to help with this. The next time you feel your mind drifting to the past or future, gently bring it back to the present. Focus on your breath, on the sights and sounds around you. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to make this moment meaningful? It takes practice, but over time, you'll find that peace exists only in the present. When you let go of the past and future, you create space for calm and clarity. Another key aspect of peace is learning the art of detachment. We live in a society that is obsessed with external validation. We measure our worth by how others see us, by how much we have, or by what we've achieved. But the truth is, chasing external approval is a never-ending race. You will never find peace by looking outside yourself for validation. The Stoics understood this deeply. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the idea that true happiness and peace come from within. You cannot rely on external things, whether it's wealth, status, or the opinions of others, to bring you lasting contentment. These things are fleeting and unstable. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, once said, "He who seeks peace outside himself will be endlessly disturbed." This is because when your peace depends on something external, you are always at the mercy of circumstances beyond your control. I remember a time when I was chasing external success. I thought that if I achieved certain goals, I would finally feel content. But every time I reached one milestone, I immediately set my sights on the next one. The peace I sought was always just out of reach, because I was looking for it in the wrong place. It wasn't until I began to practice detachment, letting go of the need for external validation, that I found true peace. I started to focus on my own values, on what I could control, my actions, my thoughts, my character. And that's where peace lives, in knowing that you are living in alignment with your true self, not in seeking approval from others. Let's now talk about simplicity. In today's world, we are bombarded with messages telling us that we need more stuff, more success, more excitement, in order to be happy. But the Stoics believe that peace comes not from abundance, but from simplicity. Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." When you are constantly chasing more, you are always restless. But when you learn to be content with what you have, you free yourself from the endless cycle of desire. One way to cultivate this mindset is through the practice of gratitude. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, focus on what you do. Every day, take a moment to reflect on the simple things you're grateful for. The roof over your head, the food on your table, the people who love you. This shift in focus can have a profound effect on your peace of mind. When you stop chasing what's out of reach and start appreciating what's already in your hands, you create a sense of contentment that is unshakable. I used to believe that peace would come once I had achieved a certain level of success or accumulated certain things. But what I've learned is that peace is not about getting more, it's about wanting less. It's about finding joy in the simple moments, in the quiet spaces of life. In the end, the art of finding peace is about mastering yourself, not the world around you.